Welcome to Art or Something.
Night.
It's
a
television
series
about
artists
of
all
genres
backgrounds
and
media.
For incredible, explosive action, you must see the Toxic Avenger.
from
music,
performance
Writing.
and
poetry,
to
Photography.
sculpture
film,
and
Video.
sit,
back,
relax,
And
enjoy, show.
You know, my great-grandmama always told me there's no such thing as good or bad art, just honest or dishonest art.
I'm a failure. Life sucks. I hate art. Art is full of hypocrisy. Those f***ing conglomerates, they control everything.
Well, greetings from Tromaville. I'm Lloyd Kaufman, and this is the Troma building. And let's go inside. I'll show you what the kind of art that we make here in Tromaville. 33 years of independent art. Come on in. I'm Lloyd Kaufman, president of Troma Entertainment and creator of the Toxic Avenger. Troma is a 33-year-old movie studio. In the history of cinema, there has never been an independent movie studio that has existed for 33 years. It is very difficult for independent movie studios to exist for more than 10 minutes in an age of giant devil-worshipping international media conglomerates. I made the mistake of going to Yale University. It was in the 60s. And peace and love, make the world a better place, change the world for the better. I was going to be a teacher or a social worker, teach people with hooks for hands how to finger paint. I took a year off from Yale, where actually I was in the class with George Bush. And as you know, since then, we both have hurled many a bomb. But at any rate, I took a year off. I went to the Republic of Chad. And in the Republic of Chad, there was no electricity, at least where I was in the bush. We had to fend for ourselves, and the butchering was all done on the premises. So I filmed the slaughtering of a pig. When I got back from Chad, I presented this film to my friends and family, and they were really pissed off. So I think that perhaps gave me my first thrill of kind of the Dada side of filmmaking. And ever since then, I think I've been rather indulgent in sort of pushing people's buttons. Here's a young man here. Tell us, what do you do here? What's your name?
My name is...
Speak into this mic.
My name is Kyle Walker.
Are you involved with this movie?
Yes, I was a producer on your latest 35mm feature, Poultrygeist.
Had you ever been on a movie set prior to working on Poultrygeist?
Not legally, and I had not really worked on one.
Why would you work here rather than, say, you know, Hollywood?
If I were in Hollywood, I would be getting Ratner's coffee on X-Men 3, whereas here I'm the producer of a 35mm feature.
Most of the movies that I have written and or directed are ripped from today's headlines. Squeeze Play, back in the 70s, was basically about the women's liberation movement. Toxic Avenger, of course, is an environmentally themed movie about a 90-pound weakling who falls into a vat of chemical toxic waste and transforms into a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength.
Everyone hated Melvin.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this mop and shove it down your throat.
They teased him.
I'm gonna do it with you. Okay.
They taunted him. They tormented him until he had a horrifying accident and fell into a vat of nuclear waste, transforming little Melvin into a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength. Melvin became the Toxic Avenger.
And over here, we're going to go out the door. Hey, I told you not to go, get off those porno sites immediately. The most personal film I've made is one called Terra Firma, which is based, not based, but inspired by my first book, All I Need to Know About Filmmaking, I learned from the Toxic Avenger.
Look, I am the director. I've been directing 10-cent movies for 30 years, and I think I know a little bit about what I'm doing. It's a horrible world. There's starvation, dismemberment, torture, rape, cornholing. It's horrible out there. But it's worse. It's worse here in the movie set. It's much worse. We have danger and stupidity.
And of course, Poultrygeist, the movie I'm working on right now, is all about the fast food industry and how horrible it is, and the fact that there's nothing good about the fast food industry. It tortures the animals, it destroys, it tortures the people, gives them bad nourishment. That got me thinking about fast food. It turns out that our supervising editor, Mr. Gabe Friedman, he actually worked in a fast food establishment, in a chicken fast food establishment. In fact, that's how he got his job at Troma. Those were his qualifications.
Certain things that happened in the movie did happen while I was working at a fast food restaurant. People spit in the food, and I mean, fast food was a horrible thing, so we put it all, told Lloyd all this stuff, and they went in the story.
Gabe provided the real inside look at the fast food chicken business. So we decided we would make Poultrygeist.
You the manager. You know it. Give me a job! I'm a high school graduate just trying to make his way in this topsy-turvy world. My life, it sucks.
You're hired.
What do I do?
You're the counter girl.
You fool! This restaurant is built on ancient Tomahawk tribe sacred Indian burial grounds. We produce only high-quality, chicken-flavored foodstuffs.
And now, the most important part, the secret zest sauce.
Every leg, every thigh is fresh, tasty, and oh my God! The chickens come back from the dead!
Troma movies contain thousands of people and have special effects, and because we are a Cuisinart of genres, I combine horror, science fiction, romance, Shakespeare, singing and dancing all in one movie. They're extremely ambitious. Most low-budget movies are kind of ensemble pieces with a small cast and maybe one or two locations. We have a myriad of locations, and the production problems are enormous. So in order to pull that off for about $400,000, which is what Poultrygeist cost, you have to sleep on the floor, eat cheese sandwiches 3 times a day, and learn how to defecate in a paper bag. Well, I think the main reason that Troma has been around for 33 years is that we are the classic cult movie studio, and it's thanks to our fans that I've had the privilege of making movies independently with total freedom for 30, 40, 40 years. Well, thanks for watching Art or something like it. And if you want to know more about Troma Entertainment and its 33 1/3 years of independent cinema, why don't you go to www.troma.com or your public library.
And you're watching Art or something like it.
Hello, I'm Rafi. Welcome to the House of Mercado.
There's no show like home.
Home was created underground in a very, very small factory. And it was created at a time when people were putting out all this crap that they were calling art. And we didn't want to be a part of it anymore. So Home was born out of a resistance and a revolt to all the crap that's been created in the world.
I think home is everything. It's music, art, fashion, costume, dance.
The fact that I come from film as a production designer we just look at, we do every little detail that can be thought for doing an event. And I can tell you that I don't think that many people out there do what we do. You know, we do the costumes, we do the makeup, we do the hair, we do the decor.
Home is a place where I find I can be myself, where I can be an artist and express myself in every way possible, whether it's through makeup, through dancing, through hair, through movement, and also a place where I can find similar characteristics and qualities in my sisters and my brothers.
I believe the goal is just to let the rest of the world experience what home is. I believe the goal is that I want to do a Broadway show based on home. I want to do film based on home. I want to do music videos based on home. I want to do advertising campaigns based on home, meaning the home feeling, you know, to express a freedom that we can do as performers. So now here we are in the newest department in the company at home, our music department. And this is DJ Adam King.
Hi everyone. Can't have home with no music. You need to have music with home. Home puts on amazing shows. You need to have amazing music. That's why I'm here.
A lot of times, companies or clubs or whoever will come to us and say, we want to have a party with this theme. What can you give us, or tell me some ideas? And from that one word, that one theme, or that one idea that they might have, then we'll develop a whole production.
And we develop.
Yeah.
We develop because, you know,
we'll take one little idea that they might have, and we add to it, expand on it, and then turn it into an amazing show, an amazing production.
Every place that we've ever been, that we've done anything, basically the entire decor comes from us. So once the people walk into that environment, they're in a whole different world. They're home. We did our own version of The Wizard of Oz, which we call Wickedville, and it was a big event for us because it was at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Wickedville is a show that is in process within home right now that is a club theatrical experience. You know, it's a Broadway show of the future. It's like we are the future.
Our worlds are basically a cross between sometimes burlesque, shows that you see in costume design from people like Cirque du Soleil, Broadway shows, the go-go scene in the nightclubs of New York, and it's all brought up together to make what you see here.
Well, first of all, I have to say that, you know, we've done 500 plus shows. From the mini ones, to the middle ones, to the big ones, to the high budget ones, to the low budget ones.
We take everyone's fantasies, everyone's childhood dreams of reading fairy tales and watching those fairy tale movies, and we bring them to life.
Main Anders, the magic of home.
My
how
main.
she changes completely. Talk about the character, man.
When I put this outfit on, I feel like if Beyonce was a lion, this is what she would look like. You know, like this bootylicious lion character. She's very fierce and not so cowardly, more funny and mischievous. If you have a gift, you have to share it. You have to share it with the world.
And if you're a little boy out there,
you can wear pink.
I wear pink is the new black.
And if you're a little boy out there who likes to play with Barbies, go ahead and do it. Because that's where I came from. I was caught up in a room, studying all the time, being smart and finishing my homework so early that I had nothing else to do. That's where my Barbies started.
And look at us now.
And now we're his Barbies. We're your life-size dolls.
Yes.
It's true.
It's a boutique, you know, it's a boutique of art. It's a la carte entertainment. Whatever fantasy you have, we can make them true. Thank you for watching Art or Something Like It. This is House of Mercado Entertainment. You can learn more about us at houseofmercado.com. Stay connected.
There's no show like home!
something like we about to take it to a new direction. None of you with questions. This is art or something like modern day Da Vinci paint pictures from a new perspective. This is art or something like
checking accounts, bro, cause I paint pictures with the pen like Picasso.
Art or something like
if a picture wouldn't make it out the hood without academic ventures.
Art or something like and the dudes that's feeling me FCC trying to get rid of me. Art or something like Van Gogh with a hood, I'm painting pictures like chapels in Italy. Art or something like
art or something like it.
Hi, this is Scott McLeod for Art or Something Like It. When I was a little kid, I thought that comics were cheap, semi-literate kiddie fare. I had a very narrow idea of what they could be. As time went on, I discovered that comics could be a lot more than that. Whatever you think you know about comics is only half of the story, only a tenth of the story, because all the comics ever drawn is just a tip of the iceberg. I'm Scott McLeod. For more information, go to scottmcleod.com.
Hey, I'm Dan Springer, the Caricature King, and we're in Central Park. We're going to talk about caricatures or something like it. The thing about the park lately is that you have to get here about 1 in the morning the night before just to set up, because people get here, they set their stuff up and they go to sleep, or they'll go home and go to sleep, so then you can't get a good spot. Now we're going to try to get somebody to draw and do a caricature. Let's see who we can get. There's hardly anybody right now. Maybe she wants one. Hey, would you like a caricature? Sometimes they ignore me completely. Would you guys like a caricature? Would you guys like a caricature? Would you guys like a caricature? This is sad. I'm not in the best spot, that's part of it too. They don't realize I'm the Caricature King. They only realize that when I'm drawing. Hey, would you like a caricature? Yeah. All right, have a seat. Just look right at me. I guess I've always been into drawing and specifically portraits, so caricature was like a natural way to continue that, just exploring the face and being interested in people's personalities and what makes them who they are, what facial features. Give me a big smile. A lot of people out here who try to do caricatures are just doing simplified portraits with big heads and little bodies, but if you're really doing caricature, it's based on a lot of different things, on different ways of exaggerating and utilizing the spaces between the facial features. So that's what I try to do. Also to try to get the personality of the person in the caricature and hopefully their psychology, if that's possible. And here it is. It only took 2 minutes. Okay, we're all set here, so let's head off to Faces and Names, the bar that has all my paintings on 54th Street between 6th and 7th Avenue. Let's go there now. Okay, we're here at Faces and Names, 161 West 54th. Let's go in and see some of my paintings. This is the first painting. It's Tom Waits, and I painted it when I first came into New York about 11 years ago. It's one of the first paintings that I brought down here when they opened up. This is the second Christopher Walken painting. I had one other one when I first came here. He came in to see it a couple times, one by himself and one with his wife. And apparently the first time he didn't like it, but I guess he came back, so maybe he did like it the second time. This is Willem Dafoe, so this is also a dimensional painting. It's on oil. It's oil on wood with the gel medium. This is David Bowie. This is one of the original ones that was there that I brought down about 11 years ago when they opened up. This one's of Steve Buscemi. He came in here about a couple months ago to see it. The Sopranos were in, and they called him up and told him it was here. So he came just to see the painting. Apparently he liked it, so that's good. This is a Rolling Stones painting. This is one of the first ones that got brought down here, and been commissioned to do this painting like 9 times. I think I started doing caricatures when I was in high school. I just started drawing my teachers and went from there. When I went to art school, there was a class in caricature, so I took that. And then he taught another class in 3D caricature. I did that one. And then I did an independent study. That was with Bob Selby. This is one of Uma Thurman, also oil on wood. And this one I actually painted quicker than usual. It was at a party, and the idea of the event was that I had to do a complete painting during the party. So it's done a little bit faster, so she's a little more expressionistic. This one is of my old roommate, Lindsay, who I used to live with in Tribeca when we had a gallery for about a year. So she was one of the fellow artists. We had all artists in there. We had shows once a month. And we decided to do a trade. I was going to do her portrait, and she was going to give me one of her paintings. When I finished it, she didn't really like it, because I made her two-faced. So I do a little example of the kind of work she was doing at the time. Yeah, abstract kind of stuff. So the title is Time to Get Famous. This is the Samuel L. Jackson painting. This was the last one that I did for them, and hopefully he'll come in to see it someday. I think when you start to do a caricature, you got to look at the overall face, and you know, there's a lot of specifics as far as what to exaggerate, and the spaces between the features that you have to exaggerate. You know, you have to look at the whole thing, the shape of the head, but also the personality of the person. And, you know, I try to get them to look right at me. You know, a lot of caricatures have them look like off to the side, but I want to really engage them, which is a little disconcerting to some people. So, but I think that's the best way to really get to know who they are without really knowing them. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to find out more, you can go to my blog, which is www.caricatureking.blogspot.com.
Remember, you artistic infidels, you look through your glasses. The rest of the world looks at them.
Hello, boys and girls of the Art or Something Like It world. We're here live right now in front of Halloween Adventure New York City costumes, and we're gonna meet Vulgaras, the greatest rock and roll band in the world.
I am Oz, the bassist.
I'm Goddess Diana. I play drums in Vulgaras.
I am the anti-Dave. I play guitar.
I'm Velocity Child, lead singer.
Midnight girl in a deserted street, walking past a lonely creek. Pale maidens never leave the house. Pale maidens never leave the spouse. Pale maidens never leave the spouse. Pale maidens never leave the spouse. Midnight girl, alone and traveling to the unknown. Midnight girl, without herself, found just
What is Vulgaras to you?
Being whoever you want to be without any shame.
To me, art is anything that you can create that you feel good about even after a 12-pack.
For me, drum is an art form and it's a passion for me, so with it, whatever hardships come with it is part of the job and the work that I do with drumming. I love to play, so I really see no hardships or I wouldn't be playing drums in the first place.
What is the Vulgaras experience? Can you describe it to the boys and girls out there?
I would call it something akin to a David Lynch fever dream. It's a very sexual experience with the audience. It's a very angry experience with the audience. And everybody has a wonderful time exercising those demons.
I'm the underbelly cause with my underbelly flaws. I still hold your children, swallow them up and thrill them with my underbelly dream. Belching Banshee screams, you watch my nightmares and find them familiar. I watch your place there, I think I'm gonna kill her. Next door, girl next door.
When I hit that first drum, from the very first drum to the last, from beginning to end, I put everything in it. Not only the love for playing music, but aggression, and it's great therapy for me. From everything that's happened to me growing up as a child, I harness all this energy into this big giant ball and I just blast it into the drums.
What I do is I pick up my guitar and I eat it. I just try to play my ass off with anything I do. The live experience for me is play my ass off and enjoy the musicians that are around me.
Played at a bachelor party on the porch, and we had a mariachi band open up for us, and Nicole Bass, the female wrestler, she was tossing midgets.
Midget toss.
She was doing this midget toss, and there were about 60 like middle-aged men sitting in lawn chairs out in the lawn. I thought it was pretty hysterical because while playing, Velocity's doing her knife blood piece. And I think I recall her throwing a dildo out into the woods grass, and a lot of the guys are racing, jumping for it. And I almost lost my drumsticks and fell out just laughing. It was one of the most surreal shows we've ever done. I guess that was...
took all my Barbie dolls and lit them on fire with the tiki torches.
That was a strange show. I'll never forget that one. That one really stands out. Mariachi's band, Nicole Bass, midgets, old men, dildos on a back porch in suburban Long Island.
Well, right now we're finishing recording our third album, Night of the Whore. It's an acoustic version of Year of the Whore. And we are writing Soul Vendor, which is all about what happens after you've been bought and sold.
You've heard it here first, on Art or Something Like It. Vulgaras, everybody, go Vulgaras, let's give them a hand. Yay!
If you have a weak heart or stomach, for God's sakes, look away! Somebody do it! Can you guys give me a drum roll on the chairs? On the table, whatever? Can you bounce?
And certainly no Troma movie would be complete without a beautiful, beautiful head-crushing scene. So take a look at this make your own damn movie system of head-crushing using a simple melon and a wig.
Most movies would have to take a plastic cast of the guy's face. They'd spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to squash a head. We take a melon, we draw a face on the melon, simple face like that, very easy. We take a wig, we put the wig right on the melon like that, and then we load the melon with cranberry sauce, maybe some animal parts, blood, or not blood, but vegetable coloring with Caro syrup. And then presto, you're ready to go with a head-crushing scene. Now, we'd like to show you a scene which uses this actual system of head-crushing, and you will find it very disturbing.